Good morning. Lots to do today. It's Saturday. Welcome to the Dutton Homestead. I constantly am feeling like I'm in a state of spider webs, trying to get caught up, but I'm just trying to put myself in a place where it's just never going to happen. So just do what you can. There's always more due to the day. And starting off, feeding the chickens some scratch. Before I do give all the ladies their scratch, I'm gonna scrape up their pen and throw it into the compost ring and see if I can get that going again. Started that, and then the play kit, and another thing that we're behind on. And then I'll also take you over and show you the new rooster home that Rick made over the last couple weeks. He did a fantastic job. So this is Sandra Bullock. Named him before we knew what sex he was. And our two ducks. And we were hoping for a female duck and a male duck and have some eggs. But that's not how it worked out. So ducks aren't something that we decided that we wanted to keep. All three of these birds will be destined for a freezer camp at some point. As soon as it cools off long enough to be able to do it. It's a tedious process, so we want the weather to be a little bit better. I think the last time I showed this, he wasn't quite done. He didn't have the top on it, but this is where our three roosters are. Now, we were leaning towards sending Rocky to freezer camp, but we really like to keep him around if at all possible so that we can breed him and start breeding our own chicks for both meat and eggs. And he's one of those birds that would work that for us. So as an effort, when we do start breeding, we need an extra pen anyway. But this is the spot where the three are. We got Rocky and Rainy, and I think one we deemed no name because we didn't have a name for him. So because they're still mean, I'm gonna get the scratch down first, and I'm gonna try and get out of here as soon as possible. Usually I'm doing this in the dark and they're not in a rush to come out in the dark, so I have plenty of time. So this is the first time doing it in the daytime for me since I stopped being sick. And let's see how this goes. They're not charging out, so that's a good thing. I'll just still make myself scarce on the other side of the fence because they make me nervous. And there's Rocky, first one out. So Rick has found that they haven't really been eating their food that he has underneath there. They haven't been eating much of it, and so maybe we're just kind of figuring that they have enough protein that they're finding amongst in the woods here from the trees he dropped, and the soil's rich, so it would probably stand to reason that it would be rich with worms and slugs and stuff. Right? All right. Have a good day, Rocky. So these girls are probably getting a little bit impatient because it's probably about an hour past the time, maybe actually a little bit longer than that, past the time that they usually are coming out. But I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the pen before I give them the scratch and let them out. They've been doing wonderful with all the egg laying, and to the point where I gotta start thinking about water glassing, and I've already freeze-dried some, but just to figure out what to do with all these eggs. It really doesn't take very long to get the pen the way I want it, get it raked up and thrown in. It's more of a scheduling conflict. Like, I usually leave the house when it's still dark. We don't have electricity out here, so I have to work at doing it when I can on the days that I'm home. And they're getting a little anxious to come out. I should let them out now. So they will all come charging probably before I get the big door open. Yep. So they are running out like, you're late. You're late. Hopefully I can get the door open without hitting anybody who tries to run through the hole at the same time. Now they're gonna come back because they're like, where's our scratch? There you go. There you go. Rick's been telling me to put some around the stumps, and they've actually been working their way around the stumps so we can get these stumps out of here without having to get special equipment to do it. And they've been doing a good job. And throw some in here so they can keep working on that. Just put it down. There you go, ladies. And Beast, where are you, Beast? Oh, there's Beast. Beast is the one lucky man that said gets to be in here with the ladies. And the ladies are ecstatic that they don't have more roosters happening all the time. So I think that's why they're laying so well. I think they're happy chickens. Morning, Rick.
Good morning.
What's on your agenda today?
Coffee first.
Rick's gonna make a run to Home Depot to pick up 25 bags of mulch for Dad. And then, I don't know, what are you gonna do after that?
I don't know, there's a squirrel right there though.
Squirrel up there. Right after he finished the rooster pen, we were coming back up from bringing the trash bins down to the road. There were 2 squirrels in the rooster pen stealing the rooster's food. That was funny. I wish I had the camera on that. They were like, as soon as they heard us, they started scurrying out in the little spot that they can get out over the door. Rick is off to Home Depot to pick up the mulch for Dad. And I'm gonna get started weeding because that seems to be what's screaming at me the loudest. That's going to help me to move forward by getting fall plants into the ground, by cleaning up the weeded mess. Up here we have a tomato plant that's still producing a little bit. Carolina Reapers, a whole bunch of them on there. They just need to turn red. And then I have a blank spot here. This all needs to be weeded, and my peas are coming up and needs to be weeded so that they'll grow stronger. And I'm going to probably throw some broccoli plants in there. I have a whole flat of broccoli plants that need to go in, and I'm going to be looking for different spots. And they don't need to go in all together. I'm hoping that without having to spend a whole lot of time figuring out if they will sabotage each other, different plants if I put them next to it. Hopefully I can find places for them. So I spent about 5 hours out weeding in the garden this morning. I had a little bit of help from the boys, which was a nice change. Rick is still out there right now. He's looking to he's trying to weed where there's some shade, which is hard to find right now. Gonna go back out in a couple hours, but I decided I need to come in and make use of some other time. There's some odds and ends in the fridge that I'm gonna go ahead and stick in the freeze dryer to make some snacks. Watermelon. I have some okra that needs to be freeze dried. I'm gonna fill 4 trays and get the freeze dryer going. It seems like this time of year it's a waste if you don't have that going like 24 hours a day. And that way you're not wasting things. Things aren't in the fridge going to waste or sitting on the counter waiting to be processed. It's just easy. So we're still learning with the freeze dryer. It's like if it's better to keep pushing more dry rather than take it out when it says it could be ready, because as soon as a lot of the things hit the air, it immediately starts sucking the moisture in, and then you don't have crispy. No, if everything's right, then everything is almost like a Cheeto consistency, so it makes great snacks. Did some watermelon the other day. I'm gonna do some more watermelon now. Some okra, and we'll see what else. I think I have some green beans, some purple beans that I can get freeze dried and put away for aside for another time. So this watermelon was not ours. This I got from a farm stand in Indian Trail earlier this week. So far we have not been able to pick a watermelon that we could actually keep for ourselves because they had blossom rot. but we have 3 good sized ones out there right now. They're getting bigger, and we may have corrected that problem we had with the calcium deficiency. We did put some calcium pellets on it and some eggshells, and so hoping that they just continue to grow without developing the blossom rot. But it will be really nice if we can actually harvest some watermelon that we grew from seed. That would be awesome. So the first tray of watermelon is all set. I'm just going to do 3 more trays of other odds and ends, but I wanted to show you what it looked like for the first tray. This is what's left. This was full. And then I had 2 sandwich bags. Sandwich bags were gone like the first day. I put this on a shelf for like a day, but it was discovered last night. So it's sort of like, I don't know if you can hear it. Probably can't hear it because I keep hearing my sound isn't very good on this. I'll figure out something at some point, but it's like the consistency of a Cheeto, so it's very crumbly and it's crunchy as long as you don't let the air get at it for too long, and it's like eating watermelon cotton candy. It's amazing. So it's all natural. I don't know if this particular watermelon was organic or not. It just was a seedless watermelon at a farm stand. I know what we're growing is organic, so if they actually survive, we'll have organic watermelon. So you've got this super intensely sweet snack that's fruit. It's awesome. And my granddaughter loves, so far she loves the apples. And she's undecided about this yet, but I think if I keep putting it in front of her, she'll start eating it. Sometimes she just gets in a mood and she doesn't want to eat something if I'm giving it to her, but if it's her idea, she'll eat it, because that's the way 3-year-olds work. But anyway, it's really good. It's really awesome. I'm glad I tried this. I'm glad somebody else did it in a video I saw so that I could give it a try. And hopefully we'll be able to get enough watermelon out of the garden that we can enjoy watermelon throughout the year. So the next thing I'm going to do is okra. Now, I'm probably getting 12 to 2 dozen okras every day, picking from the 6 plants that I planted. They are taller than me now. There is one on the end I'm just leaving for seed, and those okras are big. Just gonna leave those for seed. So I'm only picking off of 5. I also have 4 or 5 new ones that I put in like 3 weeks ago, and those are about 2 feet tall. So pending frosts and how it handles the colder weather as the weather comes on, we could be putting away a lot of okra. So Rick likes to I don't know how he's been seasoning them, but he would like bake or boil them and then just kind of like eat them like that. I don't really like that. We've had it fried and it's really good. But I've been slicing them, and like these jars we vacuum sealed. These ones I don't have vacuum sealed, just have the regular covers on them. But they're crunchy. They're a great snack. These ones here I think we seasoned with ranch, like the Hidden Valley Ranch dry seasoning. They're a great snack if you just want something to crunch on when you're eating. But they fry really well, and they're already cut up to fry. And I am actively looking for and open to any suggestions, other recipes to do with okra, because prior to moving down south, I never heard of okra. But okra is supposed to be really good for you, and it's good for, we were reading it was good for liver and kidney and inflammation. So it's one of those superfoods, and apparently we grow it quite plentifully down here. So if anybody has any favorite recipes for it. You can drop it in the comments. You can share with me, share with anybody else that might be reading it. That would be awesome. Go ahead and cut these up and get this on tray number 2. Guys, so we have a slight change of plans. Rick doesn't want me to freeze dry these. He wants to roast them tonight. So I'm not going to show you that. We'll find something else to put in the freezer. So the second tray is going to get organic bananas. Unfortunately, Rick can't enjoy these because he is allergic to bananas, but my granddaughter absolutely loves freeze-dried bananas. I know this because her mom's been buying it since she's been old enough to eat table food. So I'm gonna do these up, and then I'll know I have something I can feed her that she might eat next week. Alright, so we got the freeze dryer full. The first tray is all watermelon. The second tray, we did the bananas I picked up at the store, habaneros, and a few reapers. Big reapers. And then third tray, we did cherry tomatoes and little Roma tomatoes. And then we had a handful of beans that needed to be something to do with them, and it was not enough to fill a tray, so I went out and picked some more. So we got the royal purple, the yellow beans, and the green beans. And this should be done sometime tomorrow. It might be a little bit longer because of the watermelon, but
And the tomatoes.
and the tomatoes. It's very watery. Thanks for helping. So the sun's gone down, and Rick and I are back out weeding again. The section I had planned on getting done this morning, I was able to get done. It is feeding time for the mosquitoes. It's always something, but we got quite a bit done today. So this section here got all weeded and watered well, and I put in a few broccoli plants for the fall. I think I'm about 2 or 3 weeks behind on putting them in the ground. Something was starting to eat them while they were in their seed trays. There's little spots, so I don't know how they're gonna fare, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I put 3 more here in this spot. I had Brussels sprouts here. Previously in the summertime, they did not do anything. It got too hot too fast. I have another flat of Brussels sprouts started that I also need to find some place to put them into the ground for the fall. You can see the peas much better now that it's been weeded. Probably got another 15 okra today, so that was neat. Did like a light weeding through the pepper area. Part of the pepper area, and cut back a lot of the dead stuff off the tomatoes. Now this time last year I was already done with the tomatoes. I had pulled them out, but these are still producing, and so I just keep picking and using, because right now I'm currently working on cooking down tomatoes to make more pasta sauce, or tomato sauce, or some tomato based sauce. I got about half of what I wanted to get done, which is will be twice as much of what I got done last year. I went ahead, and where I have pulled out the tomato plants on these 2 rows, I have planted the rest of the broccoli. I got like 10, 11, 12 broccoli plants. We'll just see what happens. Still a lot of grass. This is Bermuda grass. It's like pulling up a tree. The roots go so deep. It's such a pain. So just in the last hour or so, I've just been working on trying to get the rows actually, where I'm planting, actually weed free. Dad's out putting the mulch packs down that Rick picked up this morning. He's covered head to toe because the mosquitoes really like him. Chickens got lots of weeds today to supplement their diet. Rick's been working down in the lower garden. I still need to come through here, and there are some tomato plants that can be pulled out of here that aren't producing anything, and I can make room for other stuff. The corn that was laying down after the big deluge of water and wind that we had last weekend, just left it alone. Dad said it would come back up on its own, and it did. So that was pretty neat. And Rick's working on this row of potatoes that he put in that doesn't look like it was going to produce anything. So we're going to make room, and this is probably where the Brussels sprouts will go.
There's a potato right there. You just stepped on it.
Did you step on it? Oh, we got doing sweet potatoes up that end that look like they're going to do well. So overall, we got quite a bit done today. Hey, well, that's not off.
Hey.
So we got quite a bit done today. Never as much as what we want to do, but the heat and the mosquito is always something. It's always something in there. So be a blessing and be blessed.
Yeah, what she said.
Good night.